What's going on, boxing fans? Julian Williams with the distance. I'm here to give my thoughts on Paulie Malignaggi not getting this rematch with Juan Diaz. I think that's sad, to be honest, because Paulie Malignaggi, I don't think for a while won't even get any big fights. I think the least Golden Boy could do is try to give him another big fight, or give him a fight with somebody on their stable or something. Because this matchup was it was a plain scorecard robbery. It was close. I have Malignaggi winning by a round, and that's just what I thought. I thought it was a closely contested matchup. Um, I think Juan Diaz should say a little more. I think he should say a bit more about fighting Paulie Malignaggi, because when I watched the fight at the end of the matchup, when I saw the look on Juan Diaz's face when the final bell rung and Malignaggi was celebrating, it felt as if when you looked in his eyes, that he knew he didn't win the matchup. He had that look of disappointment. And when he won the matchup, he was happy again and stuff. And that's how you know that the judges gave you the matchup. You know, he was down and out at the end of the fight. Just look at if you see any videos on YouTube with the matchup, you'll see that Juan Diaz he looked down after the matchup. Had his head down. He looked like he knew he lost the fight. And Malignaggi, of course, didn't get enough rounds to win the match, and according to the judges. And it was a closely contested match, but I think Paulie deserves a rematch. I think Golden Boy needs to do something to at least make it right. But see, Paulie had this demand that the match wouldn't be in Houston, and that's where Juan Diaz has his following. And I don't blame Golden Boy for not wanting to take Juan Diaz out of Houston, because he attracts the crowds in Houston. He gets money out in Houston. So why move Juan Diaz when he has a crowd? He has a crowd and that will be behind him, and a great following. If it's broke, don't fix it. As they say. And Juan Diaz, I personally think needs to fight with Malignaggi, because it's like, if a matchup is so closely contested, and the judges pretty much rob a fighter, and everybody's saying you lost, then why not fight? Why not fight this man again? Prove the people wrong. Prove that, hey, maybe I did win the first fight, and people didn't really see it the way that it should have been. And it's just a really messed up situation. I think Juan Diaz should want to fight with Malignaggi. I really don't know who Malignaggi is going to fight next. I don't know who Diaz is going to fight next. I know that Malignaggi wanted to fight at 140. He didn't want to fight at Texas, and he wanted in December. And who knows what else he said. And I think maybe it was the fact that he was upset after the first match and said all that stuff about how he's fighting for money and stuff like that. But it's sad, when you love a sport so much, but then you learn how to hate the sport. And I think that's what happened with Malignaggi. I think he learned to hate the sport because of the I guess the scoring system and how the judges are. But you get that in boxing. That's the business that you're in. And he signed the contract to fight Diaz, and I understand that Malignaggi needed the fight. Because the loss with Hatton it just looked depressing. Well, to me it looked depressing, but he needed to get his career back on track and get back in contention for that 140-pound title. And this matchup could have set him up against another good opponent. And but Malignaggi is he was upset, and he didn't get the matchup, so now he's back to square one. And Diaz is is looking for a top level opponent, while Malignaggi is, kind of just he's just kind of there. So I really think that Malignaggi deserves a bit more than what he's gotten. I think Golden Boy needs to give. Well, even though he's not with Golden Boy, I think Golden Boy really needs to give him another fight, another big fight or a fight with maybe a Victor Ortiz, who actually needs to come back, sometime soon. That would be a good fight for Malignaggi, and it'd be a good fight for Ortiz, maybe. So that's just what I think about that. I think Golden Boy just needs to make things right with the Bella and Malignaggi, since the judges were unfair to Malignaggi, and just give him a fight with maybe a Victor Ortiz or somebody. That's my thoughts on that. Let me know what you think. Peace.